Hey everybody, in today's video, you're gonna watch a class for free from my phrasal verbs course, Light Up, Phrasal Verbs Demystified. And in this class, we break down the logic behind phrasal verbs with the particle down. So stay here because you're about to learn a lot.
I love learning English and teaching English for sure. But there are certain things about the English language that just crack me up. Things that make me laugh a lot. Okay, here we go. The phrasal verb to fall down is one of them. Seriously, fall down. So redundant. Like, oh no, I fell down. Really? Don't you know something called gravity? Anyways, it's time to talk about phrasal verbs with down. Imagine you're Isaac Newton sitting under an apple tree when an apple falls from it. Which direction does it go? Down, right? The core meaning of down can be represented as a spatial motion that goes from a higher place, like the apple tree, to a lower place, like the ground or Newton's head, maybe. When we think about something going from an upward direction to a downward direction, some phrasal verbs come to mind. So, we had a crazy storm once where we lived, and part of a tree fell down on my neighbor's house. So they had to knock the whole tree down. You see? Knock down. Here's another example. When my baby seems tired during the day, I know I need to put him down for his nap. I rock him to sleep and then I lay him down in his crib. If I'm watching TV when my baby is sleeping, that never happens. I need to turn down the volume. Sometimes during his naps, I sit down, grab some coffee, and jot down my thoughts and ideas for courses. In other words, I write down my thoughts and ideas. Okay, here we have something that is more abstract. Look, I have all these thoughts and ideas up in my head, and then I transfer them all to the piece of paper. I write them down. As always, we know that the core spatial meaning of prepositions can be extended and used in more abstract ways. This is why we say that we need to calm down when we are agitated. We know we are coming down with a cold when we start sneezing a lot and we get a sore throat and our nose start dripping. You know how that feels. Also, when something stops working, it breaks down. It's just there doing nothing. Now, I need to tell you something funny that happened to me once. After being in the US for a few weeks, I noticed people always use phrasal verbs, and I thought I'd start using them to sound more like a native speaker. I don't know. My father in law had sent me some important documents for immigration purposes, and I told him that I'd be very careful with those documents and that after using them, the documents, I would burn down everything. I mean, I was going to burn down the documents. He laughed and said, well, you can't burn down documents, but you can burn down a house. I felt so embarrassed. But at the same time, I was grateful for his correction. This was actually one of the things that really motivated me to study phrasal verbs. You simply burn documents or shred them. I mean, who burns documents nowadays? To wrap up the difference between burn and burn down, think of this. When a house burns, things fall down. The roof, the walls. When documents burn, they don't really fall down. Think of a pile, right? Even if we have piles of paper here, they just disappear and become dust, right? Well, I have one more story. My husband was trying to explain to me how I could get to a bus stop. And he said, "You go down the street." And I was like, "How am I going down there? Is there a hill or something?" He was like, "No, go down. It's like just keep going straight. Go from one place to another." I kid you not. I had the phrase "go down the street" stuck in my head for many years until I finally understood it. Of course, we can say go down the street if there is a hill and you literally go down the hill. But when the street is flat, the idea is that as you move, you're getting closer to the end of the street. You're getting smaller, you see? So, from the point of view of somebody watching you, they're watching you go down the street. You're getting smaller as you reach the end. So you see, getting smaller, going down. You're going down the street. Does all that make sense? Well, if it's still confusing, our accompanying PDF breaks down all the information provided in these lessons. You'll be able to read the explanations and examples. And there are tons of exercises and ideas for you to practice phrasal verbs with down. That way, you can build up your confidence and not feel down when using phrasal verbs. Thanks for hanging out with me again, and I'll see you in our next lesson.
If this lesson struck a chord with you, right? No pun intended. Why don't you join Light Up Phrasal Verbs Demystified? That's my phrasal verbs course with over 25 pre-recorded lessons that go over the different meanings of the particles, the mini extensions, to better help you understand and use phrasal verbs in your everyday interactions. Also, this time we're offering a teacher's edition of the course. It's Light Up for Teachers. And in this edition, our live sessions are going to be tailored towards helping you, teacher, develop expertise in teaching phrasal verbs. Of course, this will help you better understand phrasal verbs too, but the Light Up for Teachers edition, the live sessions will focus on helping you develop tools to help your students understand and master phrasal verbs too. You can head over to my website or simply click the link in the description below so you can join Light Up and take advantage of all the materials we offer. I am so excited to support you in your journey towards mastering phrasal verbs, towards understanding these verbs that shouldn't give you a headache. That's why I'm here. This week, I want to invite you to be an active participant. Really take advantage of this material. Send comments, questions. I'd love to answer any questions you may have. And I'll see you in the next video, in which we'll talk a little bit more about what phrasal verbs are and the key to understanding them and feeling more confident about using them. So, see you later.